welcome to Miniezhhops Puns and Memes Sculpting series with myself, Elizabeth. And today, well, it's not a pun or a meme, it's a really iconic, goofy thing that a lot of people know. It is the little tube man. The balloon man that you see outside of car dealerships and random places that flops all over. I'd love to see the ones that you guys make, and if you send them to me, I can feature them at the end of a future video. Also, if you have any suggestions of other memes, puns, or funny icons that you would like to see sculpted, let me know. Let's get sculpting.
You'll need a work mat to protect your tabletop. A piece of paper will work great. You'll need some clay, the color you would like your floppy balloon man to be, some black clay, and some white clay. You'll also need a potter's needle or a toothpick, works great, an X-Acto knife or a butter knife or a blunt edge knife. A silicone dowel tool is very helpful, especially if it has a little tiny bald end, but you can use a toothpick or your potter's needle as this, or you can use a pen tip or a pencil tip covered in saran wrap for these. To begin, we'll take our clay, the color we would like it to be, and we'll warm it up. We warm it up so it doesn't crack in the oven. Once we have it warmed up, we will roll it into a ball between our palms or on our work surface. And once you have that ball, take it and roll it back and forth, either on your palms, your work surface, or between your fingers. We're gonna make a kind of thick snake column type thing. Try to roll with this portion of your fingers if you're rolling with your fingers, rather than here, because this creates little divots as the knuckles are indented. Once you have it to be about the size you would like it to be, take your thumb and tap that bottom edge so it's nice and flat. You can also twist it on your tabletop to make it nice and flat, and then we'll stretch it out a tiny bit. Eyeball about where you would like your first bend to be, and you can make as many bends in your balloon man as you would like. I'll just show you how to do 2. I want to put my bend here, so I'm going to roll it just back and forth slightly there to make it a little bit thinner for that bend. And then I'll bend the clay over. So I'll bend the clay over one time, and then I'll bend it using my finger, bend it back. Another time, rolling out this little portion. Otherwise, the bend gets really thick. Once you have as many bends as you would like, then we'll cut off the top. Leave enough space for the eyes, so on the top we'll put the arms and the eyes and the face. Set that down for the moment, and then we're going to take our clay again and roll it out into even thinner little snakes. About 1/4 of the thickness as for this one. About there. And then at the end, we'll tap our finger around to make it kind of a ball rather than tap corners. We'll size it up on our little guy and make a mark where you would like the arm length to be. And set it, don't press it in yet, but just set it on your little guy. See if you'll like the look of that. And if you do, roll the remainder of your clay out and take this portion, size it up here, and then cut it to be the same length. Set those both on your little balloon man, leaving enough room up top for the eyes and the mouth. And then take your sculpting tool and smooth in those seams. You can use a potter's needle for this or any other smoothing tool or your pen tip, but this little tool makes it nicer. And this also helps secure the arms to the body, as well as makes it look pretty. All right, once we have those, I like to just add a little bit of black clay to the bottom here. Take about as much as you took for one of the arms, roll it into a ball. We'll warm it up first, then roll it into a ball, and then press it flat between your fingers, and then roll that back and forth so that these edges are nice and sharp. Then we'll set that at the base of the balloon man. We'll tap it all the way around so that it doesn't divot in and out, so that it just is one seamless piece. Once you have this, we'll take our clay again, the color for our balloon man, and we'll roll it out very skinny. And then we're gonna make these little hair flares. So I like to fold them over about the length that I would like, tap that edge, and set them on there. Folding them over just makes it so we can press this portion and it'll be more secure. Also, you can make this portion out of black clay or any contrasting colored clay. It doesn't have to be the same color. I just like it for this one. All right, and then here is where you can take your silicone dowel tool again and just press right there. And you can also take your potter's needle to make little lines in those pieces if you want them to look like there's more pieces there. But once we have those secured, we can take the ball end of our silicone dowel tool and kind of eyeball where you would like the face to be. Leaving enough room for the eyes up here, we can draw a little smile just ever so slightly until it's kind of a banana shape. Then take a tiny bit of our white clay, we'll pinch it off just a little bit, roll it into a ball, and then roll it back and forth between our fingers, flatten it, and then just ever so slightly curve it with our fingers as well. And we'll set that in the indent we've just made. And if we like the size of it, tap it around the edges to make it look like it's printed on there. Once you have that, you can take your ball end again and just kind of eyeball where the eyes go. Eyeball the eyes. We'll take about probably a 1/16 as much of the clay, and then we can split it into two. Then we'll take those, roll those into balls, and set them in the indents. If they're too big, you can take some clay away. If they're too small, you can add some clay. So don't press them in until you get the size that you would like. Once you have that, take your potter's needle and your black clay and just ever so slightly flick a little bit off, and then flick again. Take that little tiny bit of clay, roll it into a ball between your fingers, and then flick some clay off again and again. Roll that into a ball and size it up next to the other ball. See if it's the same size. If it's not, take a little more clay, and then we'll set those on the eyes. Before you tap it in, make sure that they're even and you like the size. Just tap them in ever so slightly, and here you want to just tap as straight as possible so it doesn't smear. One of the last steps is to take your silicone dowel tool and make just a slight crease here where the bend is. Take your potter's needle and draw a little line there. And if it's too harsh, you can tap it and make it smoother, but if it's how you like it, leave it like so. And you can do it on the back unless you are making this into a pin. And if you want it to be a pin, just kind of tap the back and make sure it's flat. And I've got videos on how to make those into pins. And if you want to make it into a charm, I've got some videos for that too. Or if you're making them earrings and they're super tiny, you can make the back flat. Our last step is to sign our name on the bottom. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun.